look at the freaks! Come examine these aberrations, the malformations, grotesque critiques. Only pennies for pinks. Come look at the
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, step right up, and prepare to be amazed as you enter, along with me, Toby Blackwell, and the Buff Headwear Company, the world of Survivor, Season 29, Survivor San Juan del Sur, Blood vs. Water 2. Come just inside these curtains and marvel at the woman who cannot stop getting married and divorced. Just marvel at the two brothers who share one brain. High guard your ears, because soon you'll hear the awful sounds of the twins whose voices can repel predators from miles away. And don't forget our giant, whose mouth is matched in size only by his racism. It's all here, coming up next. So come, look at the freaks. Right here. Okay, so this year in general in pop culture, I was noticing that circuses and freak shows were coming up a bunch. There's a revival of Sideshow happening this fall, a musical about Siamese twins, and there is also American Horror Story, which this season will take place at a circus and a carnival. When I did Sideshow, I learned a lot about how carny folk and circus folk were a really, really tight family, and so since this season is about families we create to get something done, and families that we are born into or married into. I thought, well, let's really look at these people for what they honestly are. Every season we are asked to look at some sort of sideshow attractions at these oddities of people that enter reality shows. So let's look at them. Let's look at the freaks. Let's begin with the Fire family. Fire family, I picture Dale and his daughter Kelly. Dale, you'll remember, is in the Coyopa tribe. He's the old guy, the old man. And upon realizing that he's on the outs with the tribe because they're all younger, and also because as a farmer he doesn't have a lot of skills, hanging out with people, he just says, I'm gonna make fire. And he breaks his glasses in two, and to really get intensely get the sun's rays onto his kindling and makes a fire. And then they love him, and he's able to he's the one that sets the Nadia vote into motion. They look up to him as a father figure that he is. Dale's great. Dale's a hard worker. He's a great guy. I think he's going to do really well. Now you have to pass that first hurdle, I think, because he knows himself so well. And you know what? He's a fire starter. He started the fire. Just pure, plain and simply. His daughter, Kelly, just from what I didn't see much of her, I saw a little bit of her in the beginning when they did the day zero thing where their loved ones did one night together and made fire. Yeah, she just seemed like a bitch. She seems like a ball buster and a bitch. So if he's creating the fire, she is swallowing the fire. She's putting it out. She's putting out any flame of niceness or coolness that he has, I feel like. I think Dale's gonna go far. I think she's out of there soon. There's only so many blondes we can have, to be quite honest. Speaking of blondes, we have Miss Michigan, Jacqueline, and her boyfriend, a Michigan football player, John. And they're the all-American couple. They are the all-American couple with a secret. A couple secrets. Because they are our circus's illusionists. They are pulled together, but it's harboring some deep secrets. His is really that, he's pretty depressed. His dad is sick, very sick, and so, not to make fun of that, but they sort of edited it so that he was crazy, hanging out with monkeys and talking to them one second, and then in this deep funk the next. I don't know if it's that much of a personality shift. He is a really good-looking guy and strong. I don't know how far he's going to go. I'm a little worried about them bringing out his secret so early. Does that mean he's going to get voted out? You know how these shows go. Who knows? Her secret, I already knew. And I'm just going to tell you what it is, because she tells everyone what it is, as when she ran for Miss Michigan and in the pre-Survivor stuff. And she's born with a condition where she doesn't have a uterus. How important is that to bring up in this game? If she brings it up as much as she did in the pre-game stuff, she's out of there. Remember that girl with the one leg? They were not bringing the handicapped person to the finals. They just weren't. Plus, also, nobody wants to hear about no uterus all the time. I'm just saying. Fortunately, she didn't really bring it up this first episode, but you know, there's a lot of other nonsense with everyone else going on. So I just feel like if it does come up, and if it starts to keep coming up again and again and again, that's going to get her out of there. Also, she was really slow to the challenge, and you know, again, there's only so many blondes that you need, and that number pretty much is 0. To be quite honest. We do have another set of blondes, and that's Missy and Baylor. Missy owns a cheer gym, and they keep bringing up that she has been divorced 3 times. 3 times, yeah. And Baylor is her daughter. Her daughter has had to fill the mom role and to do that. And you know, because of that, I say that Baylor is our circus's strong woman. She, however, has taken a cue from her mother, and she turns to a man for her decision making. And fortunately, though, that is a gay man. So you know what? Baylor's going to do all right, I think. Her mother, Missy, is she doesn't learn. She thinks she's learned lessons, but I don't think she has. Because when Jeremy comes up to her with his shirt off, you know, and he's able to just convince her to be in his alliance. You know, maybe she wanted it anyway, but you know, I think it's sort of an argument that she'd be the brains of the alliance. And come on, really, who's gonna fall for that? Anyway, so she also says, like, you know, through 3 divorces, which now she's gonna bring up every 4 seconds, that she's learned to trust her gut. To which I say, if you really learned to trust your gut, if your gut was really right all the time, would you have 3 divorces? I'm not sure. She is our fortune teller. And I'm not saying that she's very good at it. I'm just saying that that's what she is. She thinks she can predict what people are doing and what people are going to do. And 3 divorces is the highlight of her personality. You tell me. So now we come to the brothers, Alec and Drew, who are from Florida, and don't really have much to say about them. The younger one actually seems cooler than the other one. The younger one, Alec, we didn't see much of, and all I know is that he had long hair and he cut his hair to make his fire. So he's actually part of our circus's hair hanging act. His brother, Drew, is about as dumb as a box of hair. And he was the one who was building the shelter and kept bringing up that everyone should be praising him, and he hopes that everyone realizes how much effort he's putting into this. He doesn't know how he got thrown into this. And you know, here's how you got thrown into it. You signed up for Survivor and you need a shelter. So that's pretty much what happened. He also said that he had done some modeling in Europe. He wasn't famous, but he was out there. And you know, and while he was saying this, I'm looking at him shirtless and I'm thinking, for barrels? What were you modeling there? Yeah, I don't know. You're not a model anymore, that's for sure. You're also not a leader, even though you keep calling yourself a leader. And what you are is a contortionist, because only someone who can contort their body so much could pat themselves on the back so many times. Then we have this huge guy. This huge guy is there. And I mean, he's gigantic. He's really cute looking. He's got this deep voice. He seems real calm. His name is John Rocker. Those of you who follow or don't follow Major League Baseball, or from New York or not from New York, remember about 15 years ago when John Rocker said he didn't want to ride a 7 train with some of the homos with AIDS and hookers and train, I don't know, all this stuff. And he basically insulted every minority group, and it was quite a scandal. And supposedly he has spent the last 15 years trying to live that down, which I find hard to believe, having gone to his website, in which the very first page you can buy shirts that say speak English. He is just an asshat, and he's toning it down. So he's not even interesting now. He's not even the ass that he is to make the season interesting. So it's like, why did we cast him? In sideshows and circuses back in the day, they would often have just black men play a character like the savage, and they would do these things like they were presenting like they had gone throughout the world and gathered all these savages. And so here's what he would be. He would be the Savage King, for the pure fact that it would piss him off that I'm calling him that in my circus sideshow. His girlfriend Julie, who runs a self-tanner or spray tanner business, I don't know what that's about, she clearly, because who she's dating, is a snake charmer. She's our snake charmer. And she, I guess, is able to manage him a little bit, and so it gives her insight into other sort of douchey guys in her tribe, which is interesting. But she's also one of those people that says, I don't want everyone to hate me and see the boobs and the teeth and the great boyfriend. I don't want everyone to hate me because of that. That's not why they hate you. Nope, they hate you because you're mentioning it right now. Anyway, that's, I don't think either of them will go so super far. John Rocker, as soon as he's really found out everyone, definitely won't go far. He's awful. He's awful. And I don't know, and she, I'm sorry, 3 years or something like that, like, who hasn't changed, by association, you're pretty awful too. The two people have mentioned that they recognize John Rocker is, one of whom approached him. And they are actually a father and son. They're father and son firefighters. They are hilarious. Wes is the son, Keith is the dad. They are so funny. They have a great rapport. Wes is turned to shine in life, and Keith doesn't want to let go, and they're just really, really cute together. Wes seems smarter, people wouldn't give him credit for it. Keith as well, except I think because Keith is older, people think he's like old, like Bayou smart. He was chosen to go with Jeremy's wife to Exile Island. He went back, made sure he bonded with Jeremy right away and worked that firefighter angle. They're playing for real, for real. It would help if they didn't lose the striker for their flint within 3 seconds of getting it or break the flint. But it made for a good story. They have a great social game. I love them. I love Wes and Keith, and I think that people in the game and people at home are going to as well. Some of the acts in circus side shows and freak shows were, supposedly, these things that weren't supposed to be against nature. One of them they had were giant babies. They were adults basically who were doing baby stuff. And we haven't had giant baby in our circus this season, and that's of course Jeremy, because boy does that man cry. Oh Lord, I was like, why are you crying so much? He kept crying because he sent his wife to Exile Island. It's a game, it's okay. She went crying. He's a really attractive man, and he's smart, and he's, takes his shirt off, I noticed, before he goes to talk to the women to get them to be part of his alliance. Jeremy might be playing a little too hard. It's like a lot all at once, but I think what he did was he realized that he had this compassion, for him, because he cried. And so I think he, monopolized upon that. He says a little possessive. He should bring up stuff like all weirdly chauvinistic. I gotta protect my woman and all that stuff. And he, that's unnecessary. She clearly can't protect herself. Her name is Val. He's a firefighter. She's a police officer, and she can take care of herself. Granted, she really reminds me of that little police officer, the little black lady from Police Academy, the one with the tiny voice. She says, "Shut your mouth, sit down, and hard." That's Val. Who I also thought was really serious. I finally watched again and saw some moments where she did smile. But she got shafted because he was so eager to volunteer to be the first person to run a challenge. So then, without consequences, is that she has to go to Exile Island. If she gets beaten, she's going to get beat by him in a physical challenge that involves climbing. Her body's not made for climbing things, okay? She's like the human dartboard. And what that is, it's an act in which someone throws basically knives into another person, and she's like a husband-wife team. So because she got stabbed in the back, sort of, by her husband, she's the human dartboard. And now, dear friends, we have the gays! Yes! Oh, we have gay boys out there. And they are good at this game, I think. And they are kind of hot. One of them, Reed, is our circus's Insect Man. Why? Because he is one of the cast members from the horrible Broadway musical Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. He actually was one of the Spider-Men. I'm predicting big things for Reed. His boyfriend Josh clearly works out as an outdoor person. He did great in the challenge. He flew up the wall that one time it was just there on their own power. Josh is great. And I thought it was interesting that he hated it when Nadia said he was one of the girls. Some gay people would enjoy that. Josh is clearly not one of those gay people. What he is, though, is a tightrope walker, because he was in such a great position where the guys were wanting to work with him and the girls were wanting to work with him. And yeah, it was because he was gay, but maybe. But it was really because of his personality. He clearly seems smart, and he was smart enough, like he said, when people say something, you say yes. Who he has sex with, that's not the point. The point is that it's his personality. So I predict great things for him. He chose something as long as he sticks with his guns, and I think that the boys are going to do really well. I'm very excited for them, and I'm very excited that of all the teams, they had the fiercest day 0 meal with crab, and like I'm surprised they didn't have spices and Martha Stewart didn't come serve it to them. That was fierce. Good on you boys, representing the gays very well by not representing them, by just being yourselves. I like it a lot, and you know. And also, if we can get through Spider-Man in one piece, you guys are going to be just fine getting through this. This is going to be a walk in the park. And let's talk about the final 2 contestants who we have seen before. These 2 contestants you might consider them 1 contestant, because they're the same, just doubly loud if they're together. And that's Nadia and Natalie. They are, of course, our Siamese twins. And they are also our 3-time CBS reality show competitors. They were on The Amazing Race a couple seasons ago. They were on the All-Stars Amazing Race, where the first team voted out because they wouldn't stop arguing with each other. And this time on Survivor, Nadia was the first person voted out. These 2 girls are so irritating when they're together. They're like, Twinnie, 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 badass! And they say badass and Twinnie, and their voices, they make me want to, oh no, so happy she's out. I'm sorry, I just can't have that voice. I'm tired of it. I was tired of hearing it for 2 seasons of Amazing Race. I'm glad she's done. You know, it's a wrap with that. Anyway, the Siamese twins are joined no more, and our ringmaster Jeff Probst gave the words of advice to that team. It was the Coyote team, I don't know, that, you know, y'all need to pull together, so we'll see what happens. This is a weird thing, they tease a lot of moments coming up in the season, which I don't think I've ever done before, but also left me with a couple burning questions. This is a burning question I have. So, great job again, costuming and coordinating colors so that the people on Hunahpu have bluish sort of clothing on, and the people on Kuku for Cocoa Puffs tribe, they have the like yellow and orange kind of base outfits. But if they just had a random draw right there, as they were sort of acting like they did, how do the right partners get to wear the right colors? Because they all were immediately in the right colors. Curious. I don't think it must not have been a random draw. You know, they really were hinting like it was a random draw. So, I don't know. That was weird. I was like, so, you know, believe it or not actually everything. Some stuff is like planned out on these reality shows. Did you know that? Just found out just now. And finally, another question. Is there a reason why Jeff needs to make it so dramatic that like people's loved ones are going to exile island, people's loved ones are getting kicked out of the game? Like, I think they are going to be taken out back and executed. You know, he's you are not Barbara Walters, Jeff. You are not going to make these people cry. They will cry on their own because they're at their wits' end. But we don't need you jumping in and being like, is it really? It's going to be okay. What's it like watching your daughter be taken off to exile island? What's it like going back to camp knowing that your daughter potentially could be voted out? Like, not even is going to be voted out or has to go home. Like, potentially her name's going to be said in the thing. It's not really that deep. It's just not that deep. Like, you know, basically one person's going to win this game. The other people are going to go to Ponderosa and have a lovely time, or home and have a lovely time. And they come back for finale. You know, some of them are going to pretend to be actors after that. Some are going to just go on other shows, hopefully, like John Marco's girlfriend wants to. You know, I don't know. Nobody's dying. Not taking them back and shooting them. Come on. And it's interesting because there are actual injuries that happen, of course, on Survivor, and we saw that today with the eyes, Josh's eyes getting all messed up, probably from the branches. Which brings us to our Wearer of the Week. Our Wearer of the Week, it's an award given to whoever wore their Survivor buffs in a most interesting and fashionable way that week. Goes to Josh and the rest of the members of the Coyopa tribe who used the Survivor buffs kind of like work gloves when they were discarding the roof of their hut that they believed had the sap that hurt his eyes. So another use for buffs that I had not seen yet. Well done, and Josh, that's all. You are our first Wearers of the Week. That is my recap of this go-round of Survivor Blood vs. Water. So Blood vs. Water 2. And at this time, though, I would like to take a special notice of the passing of one of the people from Survivor Blood vs. Water 1. I don't know if you guys heard, but over the summer, Caleb was killed at work at his job in the train yards. Caleb was Colton's boyfriend, and I really liked Caleb a lot. He was another gay guy, I think, that represented gay people well. He was a really good guy. He was interesting. I don't think anyone really understood his relationship with Colton. He didn't care. That wasn't important to him. But he was good to Colton, though. That when he was quitting, when everyone wanted to kill him, it was thrown out. He was still nice to Colton. He was still good to Colton. When no one else could even stomach being around him. He was a good guy. I hope you had a good time. On behalf of the Buff Headwear Company, I'm Toby Blackwell, and I want to thank you for watching my recap. Check out the Buff website for more of my recaps from past seasons and other blogs that they have going on, and all of their amazing products. And check out my website, tobyblackwell.com, for all the foolishness that I have going on in my many, many roles as the busiest unemployed person ever. Also, congratulations to Derek from Big Brother. Good season of that show. No Survivor, but it was a good season of that show, and great characters that were all pretty cool, and I really enjoyed it. So, with that note, all you Fruit Loop dinguses, remember to make good